Opa! Tá workando. Tudo ok? Bom, eu procurei uma solução pro probleminha desse bendito jogo. Ele gosta de crashar, né? Ele tem esse vício em crashar. Eu fui procurando a solução e acabei achando que, pelo visto, não vai ter como resolver. Então eu vou ter que aguentar esses crashes mesmo.
This is no place for you, sir. Oi! Didn't you hear me?
Opa, foi mal, gente.
Look at it! Vicious bugger!
Opa, show. Me largaram. O que eu ia dizer mesmo? Vamos ver. Ah, sim, lembrei. Indo por aqui. Isso. Isso. Se não me engano, fica aqui. Isso, pegar essa referência aqui. Bom, quem quiser fazer o easter egg, o caminho é o seguinte. Você chegando em West End, né? Não está escrito aqui no mapa porque está com zoom. Deixa eu tirar o zoom, peraí. West End. Chegando em West End. Indo pro... no caso, provavelmente se você tiver a quest vai ficar mais fácil. Indo pra marcação da quest, ou o desenho da mansão, né? Que isso aqui é uma mansão. Esse retângulo aqui é uma mansão. Vocês seguem reto no caminho aqui, nessa rua onde tem a mansão. Vão chegar numa parte onde tem esse portão. Onde tem um portão aqui. Esse portão... Deixa eu sair do mapa aqui. Esse portão. Chama bastante atenção, né? E... fica entre essas lojas aqui também. Vou pegar de referência, né? Aqui é loja de roupa e... joalheria. Chegando aqui... só seguir, seguir pra direita, né? Seguindo pra direita, subindo tudo aqui até chegar nos guardinhas. Os primeiros guardinhas que você achar, de preferência é melhor derrotar eles, ou você deixa ele ali pra usar de isca. E seguem pelo caminho aqui, um caminho onde tem um monte de barril e caixa. Você quebra tudo, passa por eles. Aí vai ter uma porta onde vai ter um Skull batendo nela. Um Skull mulher, né? Um Skull fêmea. Batendo na porta. De preferência é melhor derrotar ela logo, porque ela é aquele Skull que fica vomitando aqueles ácidos lá e o dano é exacerbado, né? Aí, derrotando ela, no caso, dá pra derrotar ela rapidinho. Derrotando ela ainda vai aparecer o pessoal que vai estar aqui embaixo. Nessa parte aqui de baixo vão ter mais dois Skulls. E um deles é um gritador. O gritador ele vai chamar outros Skulls. No caso, tem um lobisomem aqui perto, ele vai chamar o lobisomem. Então, ou vocês derrotam o gritador depois que ele aparecer, ou vocês dão no pé. No caso, tem que matar a mulher que estava batendo na porta, entrar na casa. É uma lojinha onde tem uma loja abandonada. Lá vai ter uma água. Essa água vocês vão usar na fonte do... Quer dizer, na planta, lá no hospital. Lá em Pembroke. Lá dentro do quarto do Jonathan.
Women's right to vote is only the first step.
Ué. Não quero ter o diálogo com ela, não. Dá pra entrar na loja dela? Não.
Good evening, miss.
Agora.
Oh my God, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Nossa, ela gosta, hein? Ô.
Is there something that's bothering you?
too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich?
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Sufragista? Palavra específica.
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Que bonito, olha. Quantos anos essa pessoa tem? Não dá pra ver? Eu acho que não, né? Cadê? Aqui. Não, ainda não. Acho que não dá pra ver a idade. Agora deu
Tell me
curiosidade.
about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Econ, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Talvez. Não.
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me, or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Ai, muito bom.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
É bem curioso, bem interessante. Por que Ué, quando que ela falou isso? Não, bom. Sua mãe se recusou a transformar.
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
Não confia,
Your
né?
mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother, and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte, when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashbury. It hurts as much as it makes me proud to know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
É, realmente, é um bom ponto.
Why do you still hope to become a vampire in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm convinced of that.
You're obviously a clever woman with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one's side.
Ah, faz sentido.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage, just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Ah. Para de fazer esse jogo. Tome muito cuidado. Acho que eu vou perder um diálogo dela se eu fizer essa escolha. Deixa eu ver as pistas, talvez ajude. Charlotte foi criada no orfanato de Lady Ashbury antes de ser adotada pela própria Lady. Charlotte sabe muitas coisas sobre vampiros e não parece temê-los. Charlotte tem a esperança de obter mais resultados na luta contra a igualdade ao se tornar imortal. Charlotte ainda torce em se tornar uma vampira, apesar da desaprovação da mãe.
Be careful what you wish for, young lady. I could gaze at you right now and then take you to a shady corner and have my way with you. And leave your carcass to the rats.
You wouldn't dare. My mother would know. She'd never forgive you.
How could she suspect me? Do you know how many vampires are lurking in the city tonight as we speak? Vampires with a worse sense of humor than mine.
Oh, my God. For one second I thought you actually... Excellent, Dr. Reed. Very convincing.
Tem que assustar, tem que dar aquela prenda. Não faz essas merda
Give my
não.
best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
É claro, é mais fácil, né? A atividade dele no mesmo período. Tá aí aqui.
Any strangers come into your house? Have you no...
Ah, deixa eu dar uma inteira.
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
Quando voltou a Londres?
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
Que nova batalha do rádio? Ah, posso até aqui.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. The epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
Ah, sem problema não.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
É, rapaz, é. Quem diria que ele ia soltar uma dessa, hein? Oh.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
Ah, acho que encontrei com a Venus. Agora posso puxar um assunto com ela.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Ah, ela tá aqui.
Women die too in this war.
Tá.
Support the
Vamos usar o bagulhinho aqui pra ver onde é que tá. Ah, ele tá com enxaqueca. Faz sentido, né? Tá andando igual um louco de noite.
is only the first step.
Vendedorzinho.
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
Ah, sobre Londres.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
Porra! Você é tão cego assim? Não seja tão ingênuo. Ah, ou ele é vampiro, né? Aí ele não tá preocupado, faz sentido. É falso. Não seja ingênuo.
You cannot expect the newspapers to expose the truth while the war is still raging. I can assure you that the situation here is desperate.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
Eita.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. but the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
Não sei o que
But
significa.
what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
Eita. Mas é nacionalista, hein? Ô.
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
Ah, claro, pescocinho bem fresco. Ai, ai.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
Olha, profundo, hein?
London's lone gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Tá, agora vamos
I may have a look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
Ah, ele tem! Eu preciso disso. Quantos eu tenho disso? Eu não tenho nenhum. Ah, não, pera, é aqui? Não, é aqui. Ah, não, já tenho o suficiente. Desculpa. Desculpa, não vou comprar nada, não.
Women of all countries unite.
Ah, eu tenho um monte de gente ainda pra conhecer daqui, né? Cadê? Ah, um monte de gente. A Vênus eu já achei, né? Vênus já. Só falta esse pessoal aqui. Eu tenho certeza que um deles é vampiro. Ah, tá. Uma casinha bastante chamativa. Vambora. Agora vai ser diálogo, hein? Agora, gente, vai ser muito diálogo.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed.
Nossa.
Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Ah, a guarda de Pringwell toda batida no chão. O bom agora tem que ficar acompanhando ele. Posso ficar andando por aqui, dando uma olhada. Eu ia pensar que tava mais
There has
arrumado.
been quite a battle here.
Não, com licença, eu catar mais coisinhas.
I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Com certeza. Aqui é pra sair. Não. Tem alguém aqui? Não, podia ver, né? Direto. Arthur Flemington. Olha, nem se apresentou, já sei o nome dele. Maravilha. A história dos objetivos de Casa de Ascalon. A Casa de Ascalon é uma associação de cavaleiros que protege secretamente todos os interesses da coroa. Eu a fundei em 1837 para honrar perpétua o legado do meu criador, William Marshall, o primeiro conde de Pembroke e verdadeiro protetor da Inglaterra. Todos os membros da casa precisam provar sua reputação ilibada e incontestável perseverança. A casa também aceita membros mortais. Após o período de avaliação, serão candidatos à imortalidade. Com o objetivo de propagar uma tradição respeitável com um comportamento admirável para a nata da sociedade vampírica, além de promover e expandir a hegemonia imperial da Inglaterra. Somos verdadeiros elites da sociedade britânica. Nós somos o Ascalon, a lança sagrada de São Jorge, protetor da Inglaterra, o qual o santo usou para empalar o dragão. Nós somos os portadores da lança. Agora defendemos o Império. É profundo, ó. Profundo, ó. É um verdadeiro respeito isso aqui, cara. Eu vou ter que procurar aqui umas coisas pra catar, já já. Bom, agora não. Agora não. Ah, dá pra ver as marcas de sangue daqui. Pouquinho sangue, pouquinho sangue. Será que eu tenho que falar com ele ainda, mais um pouquinho?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
Relógio aqui, ó, deve dar pra entrar na vasta caverna com ele. Adaga boa, Ela já vem com observação de sangue? Ah não, ela tem que melhorar, né? Não dá pra melhorar aqui. O que ela faz? Reduz o consumo de vigor. Interessante. E a outra absorve sangue. Deixa eu ver onde que eu equipo ela. É em cima ou embaixo? É embaixo. Eu não sei, essa aqui já vem com absorção de sangue por padrão, né? Essa aqui... Ah, já vem com absorção de sangue. Ah, então beleza, vou equipar. Não gasta mais vigor, né? Agora que eu vi. Quanto que essa aqui gasta de vigor? Não, gasta a mesma coisa. Gasta a mesma coisa. Estaca prima, hein? Ela tem que achar uma nova estaca também. Estaca aí azul, pra me economizar.
I cannot enter.
Ó, beleza. Acho que eu tenho que ir na outra... no outro lado aqui. Aqui em cima ela tá bem arrumadinha. Provavelmente é ali dentro que eu vou encontrar o cara. Ou não. Ah.
Good evening.
Olha que mal educado, o cara mandou guri, né? Ou tem
My
sim.
good friends, if I may have your attention,
Ó.
behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him. Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you.
Tá.
Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Olha, posso mandar. Ela se mostrou útil. Não, eu não sei. Ah. Eu a admiro. Ela é uma boa amiga. Eu acho que não adianta fingir aqui, né? Porque eles já sabem. Então, acho que eu vou botar lá uma boa amiga daqui. Não tem jeito, aqui não tem
She's a
jeito.
close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Tá bom. Ué, não entendi.
Why have you asked me here?
Because the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Guard of Priwen, have even launched an open hunt. The only way to calm things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon, who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
Não de respeito, não falei com a minha família. Ah, não vai ter jeito, né?
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
Ah, obrigado.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
É o que tá escrito no papel.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Ah, tá.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members. And I do appreciate obedience.
Ah,
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
No.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country.
Não, tem que botar sangue no pote, eu acho que é isso.
My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now.
Ah, o sangue dele?
Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
Precisa do sangue dele pra escrever.
Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Parece zumbi esse cara, pô. Fale com o Lord Redgrave. Calma, falar com o pessoal aqui, pô, primeiro.
I personally went
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
Outrage. We shall chase these intruders down. I was chased by a gigantic falcon.
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member. And a dying one at that.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Tadinho.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
Ah,
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson? of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Ah, faz sentido. Bom ponto. Ele é humano. Ele não é. Ele tá isento.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile.
Sim.
What we need is a wall.
Muro,
A formidable,
é o Temer.
unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
É injusto. É eficiente, é perigoso. Não sei, perigoso? Por que seria perigoso botar um muro? Ah, tecnicamente. É, acho que eu vou botar que é perigoso. É injusto, óbvio que é, né? Não precisa falar que é injusto. Se o cara não acha que é injusto, já completamente
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets past the wall? The results would be disastrous.
Not if we eliminate all suspected cases of infection as soon as they appear. A necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
É. Pelo menos ele tem convicção. Dá pra falar com os outros membros aqui? Não, né? Não, tem que falar contigo. Vamos lá, falar contigo.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago. Well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
É.
You were spying on me.
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Ah, interessante.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshaw was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No. He was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
Nossa.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Ele foi porre pra matar. Ah.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Skulls.
Ah, melhor botar isso aqui, né? Porque não são todos, eu não vou defender todos.
I have met peaceful and wise Skulls. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Skulls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Perfeito. Ah, ele de novo, mano. Ah, tá. Oh, pensei que ia estar o carinha de novo aqui. O cara chato. Vou falar aqui um monte de balbúcia. O cara chato pra caramba. Ah, essa parte tá fechada. Ah, de certa forma foi útil, né? Não foi inútil, não. Tem coisa aqui pra mim... Ah, dinheiro, dinheiro. Tem uma carta ali. Uma chave. Chave do porão da casa de Ascalon. Muito interessante. Pô, tá cheio de dinheiro aqui, hein? Maravilha. Got some money. Ah, tá, beleza. Saquei, saquei. A propósito, dá pra ver o nome de todo mundo ali? Lord Finney... Ah, é verdade. Eles estão contando como cidadão? Lord Rushton... Beleza. É um monte de gente muito chique. Vou falar com ele aí?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed.
Beleza.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Com certeza.
Women of all countries unite!
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to...
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Ah, o parque.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights.
Ah, tá, já vi esse dela. Tá, tem o carinha ali, vamos ver se eu acho alguma coisa com ele. Será que eu tenho remédio pro problema dele?
Good evening, old chap. Are you alright?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Tem alguma coisa extra pra perguntar pra ele? Não.
Do you need medical assistance?
It's a little late for visiting hours, don't you think?
É.
I will see you later. I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Can you help me?
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the Mullaneys...
Yes?
Mullaneys.
What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there? I wonder.
Tá.
You need some rest.
Ah, eu posso bater nas portas agora? Ah, eu invadi! Ah não, invadi não, é a casa dele, ufa. Esqueci disso, ai ai. Tá, onde é que tá a mãe dele? Aproveitar e dar uma... Ah, tem o Mordão não falei com ele. Eu já tinha entrado na mansão antes, mas eu não fiz diálogos.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Faz sentido.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
Tem que trancar a porta dela.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
Tô de volta. Deixa eu ver pra onde veio aqui tudo.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avery?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war, and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did. Do you know why he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir. So my task is not over.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
You really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind, I'm sure we will find an arrangement that suits your mother also.
I'm currently investigating sources of the epidemic in this part of town. Do you know anything useful?
Not really, except all the MacPherson's servants resigned a few days ago. They feared becoming infected, they said.
The MacPhersons? Where do they live?
I think it's a rich house near the railway bridge in the southern part of the district.
Outra área.
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan. But please return as soon as possible.
Agora não entendi. Ele tá aqui. Ah, maravilha, dá pra encontrar aqui, né? Enxaqueca. Ah não, pô, não isso aí. Dá pra ir direto no nível 5, hein? Dá pra 200 cada porrada? Caraca! Minha nossa! E a adaga aqui? Ela suga 10 de sangue. Só de aumentar ela já vai absorver 12. E a estaca? Uma estaca eu não posso demorar. Esse componente comum. Eu vou aprimorar o máximo isso aqui, hein? Vou aumentar muito o dano. Acho que eu vou aumentar. Vou precisar de pedaço de alumínio. Eu vou botar a produção, vai pra 10. Já acho muito bom. Não posso testar a arma agora, né? Não. Tem um scalpo ferrado atrás da casa, é incrível.
Hello again, Mother.
Jonathan, back already? Good, good. I was just about to go outside to find you. You shouldn't stay away for so long.
Ela tá caduquinha por causa da arma do Jonathan.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Tell me, Mother, how are you? All alone in this big house with only Avery to take care of you.
I'm sad most of the time. Sad that you have left me here alone. Sad that you don't tell me when you come or go.
I'm so sorry, Mother. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was coming home. I was home. London, the Thames. And then it happened.
What happened, Johnny?
Fui atacado. Perdi meu caminho. Fui atacado, estaria certo, não tá errado. Acho que eu vou botar.
I was attacked, Mother. And I've not been the same since.
The important thing is that you finally returned home. I was worried, you know. You were the last member of the family of whom I had no news. Even Mary comes more often than you.
Porra. Até presunto.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Oxe.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
Do you think Avery is right? Do you think I should take better care of you?
I don't blame you, but you abandoned me, son. A mother should not survive her children. It's unbearable to know you're not here anymore.
I know I have failed you since I returned. I even watched you bury Mary from a distance. From now on, I will protect you. You have my word.
You don't have to apologize to me, Johnny. Do you think I did not notice how much you have changed?
Have I changed that much, Mother? Am I still your son?
You are still, and you'll always be. Despite your pale skin, your bloody eyes, and that echoing sadness in your voice.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
Era meio confuso. Bom, ela está morta. Vamos ver duas vezes, né?
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson? And my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
Nossa, que estranho.
Father seems to have left me some documents. Some sort of treasure hunt game. Do you know anything about them?
No, Johnny. But your father always loved to write these little games for you when you were a boy. Don't you remember?
I remember now. He used to post me these riddles, as though they were sent by a mysterious games master. I'd spend weeks trying to decipher them.
Your father was always so proud each time you found the answer. He was not just the serious doer banker everybody thought he was.
I was proud too. How could I forget that?
The important thing is that you remember it now. I'll tell your father the next time I see him. He'll be so happy.
Could Father have conceived some sort of final game for me before he left?
I really can't say, Johnny. Perhaps you should talk with Avery about that. He was your father's confidant, more than I.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon. Yes, Jonathan. Spending next summer in France. Absolutely. Why not?
Ah, ela aceita aí, ó. Ela falou ali agora há pouco. Ela tá feita, ela pode. Ela não não virar um escal, né? Ou não é? Ou por que não? Tá, aí não teria alguma coisa aqui? Não tem um jardim. Pode ser no parque também, né? Bom, deixa eu ver. Tem um aqui e tem um aqui. Vou aqui primeiro. Eu já passei por aqui antes, então eu tenho uma ideia de como é que é isso aqui. Talvez eu tenha apertado essa celular também, mas não tô lembrado não.
Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Beleza, peguei drops também, pronto. A porta tá trancada.
It's locked.
Mas dá pra entrar. Aí, porra, você é um porre. Beleza. Deve ter como entrar. Ó, eu tô na área certa? Eu tô. Será que eu tô no outro lado? Acho que é por aqui nada de aqui. Tem algum guarda aqui? Não, né? Não. Tá pra cá, né? Tá certo? Tá certo. Arrombaram.
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage.
Beleza. Foi rápido. Aí. Tá. Aqui. Tem outro corpo aqui.
He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture.
Com certeza. Oh, brutal. E aqui? Vamos ver aqui. Tem sangue aqui? Não. Tá limpo. Tá suave. chão deve estar aqui pra baixo.
This one's neck is broken. He was young. Probably the son.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent. Ah!
Ué? Ah, tá tomando dano. Filha da mãe. Ô, meu!
Such a radical mutation. Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution?
Caraca, meu amigo, muito dano. Sai, sai, sai. Parou? Parou. Obrigado. Pô. Querida Elsa, com grande alegria que confirmo que por meio desta carta sua admissão como estudante particular em minha escola de atuação. A breve cena que apresentou graciosamente na semana passada me convenceu de que você tem tudo para ser uma atriz de verdade. Talento, estatura e coragem. Como estudante particular, você receberá treinamento de instituição pessoal. Eu acredito na imersão total para despertar de todo o potencial dos alunos. E devido à intensidade dessas sessões, você será convidada a permanecer na escola por tempo integral. Por isso, peço que lembre-se de trazer tais noturnos e qualquer outros itens necessários para passar a semana na minha escola.
So, this girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school.
Ah, era uma garota, porque parece uma velha, não? Se eu dissesse que era uma garota, eu não ia ter certeza. Não, mas já joguei Resident Evil 7, então, né? Agora a outra área, vou ter que ir pra lá. Dá pra ir por aqui? Não, fica o caminho mais curto. Vamos ver, vamos ver. Tem nenhum rato aqui, né? Maravilha, hein? Tem ratinho, cadê? Deixa eu curar o carinha que tá por aqui, aproveitar que eu tô passando. Também dá uma
Of all
pesada.
countries unite!
Só tem um cara que tá lesionado só. Ah, então dá. Esquece tudo, vambora.
Good evening, old
O cara
chap.
dançando no meio da rua.
Are you all right?
I won't lie to
Tá, agora sim.
Do you need med?
It's a little late.
What can I say? I haven't lost my old habits.
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
Duvido.
You need some rest, Clarence.
Colheita de aviso. O povo de Oxente precisa se unir. Não deixe se enganar e não deixe de ser contra nós. Os que estão contra nós, eles preservam sua alma. Os vampiros são reais. Da comunidade. Ah, mas esse aviso aí. Tá falando
Good
dos
evening, old
vampiros,
chap.
né?
Are you all right?
I won't lie.
Aí.
Tell me what you have discovered about vampires, Clarence.
They've always been here. And if you search for long enough, you realize others know about these devils too. I'm not alone.
Have you shared your research with anybody else?
No. But I've published my leaflets all across the city, hoping that someday someone will realize I'm printing the truth.
What do you mean you're not alone? Who have you met?
The Guard of Prewen, the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, Ichabod Throgmorton.
Caraca.
Those names always pop up when you dig deep enough.
Have you spoken with any of them?
No. With the quarantine, it's almost impossible to leave the West End. But as a doctor, maybe you could, Johnny.
Are you asking me to help you prove the existence of vampires, Clarence?
Yes, Johnny. Please, gather all the information you can find about vampires and bring it to me. You're the only friend I have left. I need you.
You need some rest.
Agora eu vou upar, não. Agora, maluco, agora eu sou ferrado, né, não? Rapaz, 6.200 de extra. Vai ter que render. Vambora. Escudo de 3 barreiras, maravilha. Primeiro pega um especial nível 2. O nível 3 faz diferença, o nível 2 não faz tanto. Vai gastar. Porra, vai gastar muito pra fazer isso. E a garra? O que eu ganho de bom na garra? O custo vai aumentar. Vai usar mais dano. Eu vou poder usar mais vezes. Cooldown para de 3 segundos a 2. Não sei se eu quero stun não, acho que não vale tanto a pena stun. É mais o dano, né? Seria mais o dano. Troca 3. 300 de dano. 450 no máximo, ficou para 720 no máximo. O custo não aumenta, então, mas é 20 para 25, é 20 para 25. E o ganho de sangue é pouquíssimo, mas o dano é maior. O dano é maior. De dano, vai ter que ser de dano. Level 21, maravilha. População não vale a pena, esse aqui gasta 1.300, né? Não é 1.000. Ah, até pode juntar, não sei se vale a pena. E... ele custa 300, regeneração rápida. Sua capacidade de sangue. Capacidade de sangue é bom também. Eu acho que vou aumentar o dano também. Vou aumentar bastante o dano. Será que vai ficar saneado? Não. Até posso ir por trás, mas por trás não vai valer muito a pena. Tem muito bicho lá atrás.
If you wish to stay tonight.
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for?
Caraca, para de travar, jogo. Tá. Perfeito. Ah, dois drops também, cadê? Espingarda semiautomática. Excelente.
You infected the whole family!
Caraca, que cara chato. querido, obrigado por este perfume maravilhoso, pelo casaco de pele. Mal posso esperar por sentir suas mãos acariciando minha pele trêmula, pois você, meu herói, faz com que eu sinta o desejado. Por favor, volte logo pra mim. Estou morrendo de vontade de descansar meu corpo pelo seu peito. Sim, meu amor, meu precioso, volte pra mim. Eu lhe prometo uma noite de paixão eterna desenfreada. Nesse momento, estou vestindo apenas assim, meu corpo. Ai, que louco.
So the husband had an affair with Doris Fletcher.
A propósito, esqueci de mostrar. Cadê? Eu tinha pego mais cartas e eu não tinha mostrado naquela hora. É que eu tinha feito em off. Deixa eu ver. Era essa aqui. Quem quiser ler, só pausar rapidinho. E essa aqui. Essa aqui é um jogo, né? No caso, que o pai do Jonathan tava fazendo pra ele, pra ele descobrir alguma verdade sobre o pai dele, né? Ainda tem que fazer isso aí, uma missão secundária. Beleza. Agora tem diálogo novo na Ashbury e diálogo novo no... Aqui, pronto. Aí, perfeito. Spencer. Acho que eu já investiguei tudo, né? Um cartaz aqui. Engraçado, tem um cartaz desse.
Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence. I should go to her acting school.
Ah tá, entendi. E tem a missão principal, né, da Aristocrata. Ah, eu posso ir pra lá, posso falar, entendi. Agora, o negócio é o caminho, né? Ele já tá destravado, já. É atrás da fonte, chegando na fonte, virando pra esquerda. Aí é, fonte.
Sir, no civilians allowed. I said go back home.
Calma, jogo. Para de falar. Aí. Já é o Whitechapel? Acho que é. Ah, mas não é aqui não. Ah, não é aqui não. Putz, agora que eu vi. É pra cá. Não, aqui já é o Whitechapel, né? É, aqui já é o Whitechapel. Mas é pra cá.
Look lively! It's all to us!
Porra.
Don't like that, do ya? No fear, brothers! Murderous bastard!
Oi. No tá travado, mas... esse cara aqui, a propósito, ele é um Econ, né? Ele foi aquele cara que na live eu tinha encontrado ele pegando uma mulher no colo e teleportando. Aqui tinha rolado uma cena ali em cima. Eu tava ali em cima, eu tava vendo a ceninha e o pessoal da guarda do Springwell, esse pessoal daqui, tava executando ele. É pra cá? Pior que é pra cá.
Better go home, sir. Stay!
He's too fucking fast!
Pô, quase esqueci, ó. Aí, beleza. É pra cá, né? Tá por aqui. Aqui. Não, pô. Já é o... Acho que não tem nada aqui em cima, não. Acho que é só conferir. Acho que o jogo vai travar, hein? Tô sentindo... travou ainda não. Ainda não, calma. Crashou. Vocês não estão vendo, mas crashou. Pra vocês ainda tá rodando. Eu vou esperar o jogo fechar sozinho. Pra ver se eu consigo chegar perto do objetivo pra ele salvar.
It's locked, all right.
Não sei onde é que eu vou. Eu acho que ele vai crashar assim mesmo e beleza.
Best run along home, sir. Best be moving.
Aí, foi, crashou. Um momentinho pra me abrir de novo. Aproveita aqui e volta já. estou de volta, não sei aonde vou voltar no jogo. Ué, filho, termina de carregar, filho. É, deixa eu reiniciar o jogo de novo aí. Mais tarde eu pretendo testar algumas mudanças para ver se resolve esse problema. Eu duvido um pouco, mas... E lá vamos nós. Ah, agora carregou. Ó, em frente ao cinema, maravilha. Pelo menos o Crash dessa vez me deu tempo de escolher. Vou ter que dar a volta pra entrar no cinema. Encontre acesso ao teatro. Ah, tá. O teatro é toda essa construção aqui. Esse prédio todo aqui for construção. Teatro.
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
Era aqui que tá aberto?
It's locked.
Aí. Foi, né? Não aguento mais a dor. Ah, carta de suicídio. Não aguento mais a dor. É como se todo meu corpo estivesse se desintegrando desde que aquela vadia me infectou. Já faz dias que ela não sai do quarto, distribuindo ordens por meio de bilhetinhos e ensaiando apenas à noite. Eu testemunhei um dos tais ensaios. Ela entra no palco, furiosa e cheia de ódio. Ele foi cuspindo e resmungando sobre sua beleza esvanecente. A vadia está infectada, podre até o miolo. E planejei expulsar todo mundo deste lugar, e depois de toda a população de Londres. A próxima peça estreará um pouco antes de dezembro. Até lá, todos os funcionários do teatro serão fantoches, forçados a servir as tramas malignas. Ela com certeza já encontrou alguma maneira de infectar a nossa água e nossa comida. Já que todos começaram a adoecer depois da refeição que ela nos preparou na última segunda-feira. Quero que a pessoa que encontrar este bilhete saiba que só me matei para fugir do inferno na terra que este lugar se tornou. Que Deus tenha piedade de mim e da minha alma imortal, já que me recusei a ser dessa atrocidade. Ah. Tem ceninha aqui, hein?
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but lower your head, fit only to smirk at her soiled feet.
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
Acho que é isso. Essa porta aqui abre, né? Ou eu tenho que ir aqui? Ah, ela ali.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen.
Eu ouvi carne e ossa, as bruxas e meus pesadelos de criança, a vadia que me torturou por anos. Eu a vi e estremeci a voz. Sua voz, sua face, sabia que estava no hospital, sabia que ela estava doente, eu queria determinar seu sofrimento. Talvez eu tenha me reinventado, tornando-me uma atriz famosa. Apagado aqueles anos malignos da memória. Mas consigo esquecer que sou sua filha. Não consigo esquecer que sou sua filha. Quando vi aquele corpo frágil, aquela cama minúscula sofrendo doente derrotado, tive que conter as lágrimas. Pois ela me olhava, me reconhecia e via o ódio em meus olhos. E sorriu, o corpo pálido de uma mãe. E o pior não foi sentir a satisfação de ela sofrer. O pior não foi conseguir me lembrar das coisas e dos abusos, não. O pior foi reconhecer o ódio que senti no meu coração quando ela me olhou. Pois o mesmo ódio estava presente nos olhos dela. Afinal, sempre serei sua filha. Somos um só ser, minha mãe e eu. Vai fazer o beijo poder.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You can but lower your head, fit only to smirk at her soiled feet.
This is despicable. It's locked, all right.
Matada a outra, ela se mordeu aqui o braço dela. Ixi. Ah, eu liberei o lado de fora? Ah, liberei. Só que agora acho que eu tenho que mandar ela de novo, aquela guria. Sei lá. Uma guria chata do caramba. Aquela escalha. Ou não. Ah, pelo visto não. Dá pra fazer esse outra coisa de novo, se precisar.
It's locked.
Aqui é onde eu vou sair, não onde eu vou entrar. Porque onde eu vou entrar é pra cá. Peraí, deixa eu dar um sanguezinho.
I have this thirst for blood.
Who are you? You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah, But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you, but I can help. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final wish. Woe, and I summon thee, my children of the night. Fight, maim, spit, kill! Your hand is shaking. On guard. I smell your fear. Me, my servant, avenge me! Your blood will be marked. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of sheep. She was once
Minha
renowned.
nossa.
Will she be the queen again once they...
Ah não, fudeu. Porra! Pô, me prendeu ali, mano. Sacanagem. Bom, beleza. Revanche.
My blade shall pierce your villainous heart. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of sheep. She was once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? Your blood will be mine. I summon thee, my children of the night. Maim, spit, kill!
Ah, obrigado.
My blade shall... Your hand is shaking. On guard. Hear and obey, for your queen commands you. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she was once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? Your blood will be mine. Woe unto thee! Rise and save your queen, my slaves!
Minha nossa.
My servants, avenge me! You killed my father! Prepare to die! Touché, sir! Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they all My blade shall pierce your villainous heart, dark prince. On guard! Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said...
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be stopped.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher. The greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum!
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I've put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now.
Eles vão tacar fogo no teatro. Ah, dá pra sair por
The
aqui
West
agora.
End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
Logo subirei ao palco de novo, os ensaios estão quase sempre chegando ao fim, meus lacaios estão se reunindo ao redor, prontos para seguir todos os meus comandos, logo meu público retornará, pronto para aplaudir minha arte. Os jovens, os belos, meu público sadio, eles retornarão para suas famílias, suas lindas casas e suas vidas felizes, encantados pela minha apresentação, chocados por meu disfarce, tocados por minha graça e meu legado infeccioso. Eles espalharão a doença por fim transformando-se em seus... Eu serei arranhado mais uma vez.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Ah, dá pra sair aqui.
So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect. Contagion through skin.
Steady, boys! Christ, he's dead! Oh no!
Eita, seleção natural, não natural. Seria seleção antinatural. Ah! Quem diria? No nível 5 ele vai dar quanto de dano? Ah, um pouquinho mais que o meu só. Dá sangramento? Dá sangramento. Mas o meu é mais rápido, a serra perfeita é mais rápido que o sabre. Ah, é você, né? Safado. Pera aí, não, é aqui, pronto. Ajeitei. Deixa eu ir no teatro de novo, só pra ver o que rolou aqui.
I cannot enter.
Ah, agora eu não posso mais entrar. Tá, partiu Ascalon. Porra, em mim não, né? Prontinho, resolvido. Ó, 4.000 de exp já, maravilha, por causa do boss, né? Era pra cá? Ah, certo também. Vou abrir e subir ali. Ah, não consigo dar TP? Aí fodeu. Aí pé na tábua. Calma, meu filho, calma. Calma, lobinho. Ih, bugou. Ah, eu queria pegar o item, gente. Me deixa pegar o item. Ah, tem jeito não. Vamos direto pra escalão. Pera aí, direto pra escalão? Ah, não ia direto pra escalão, agora que eu lembrei. que era a casa da guria? Não. Acho que é essa aqui. Não. É, vou descobrir depois qual era a casa. Logo mais adiante.
It's locked, all right.
Ah, porque ela não tá aqui, faz sentido. Então ela tá em Pembroke, junto com os outros? Bom, vamos descobrir. É pra cá? Ah, é pra cá. Porra, esse pessoal. Perfeito. Pra cá, isso. Só seguir reto nessa rua. Acho que o Lobão ainda vai ganhar. Não, ele desviou a atenção dele, acho que ele morre.
Killing's all you deserve. Take its head! I hate leeches!
Mata, mata, mata!
I hate leeches!
Mata, filho!
I'll send you to hell!
Aí, obrigado. Minha vez. Pronto. Assim é pra cá. Ah não, pô. Não era aqui que eu entrava? Ou era lá do outro lado? Ah, era o outro lado.
I met him in New York once. If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
Ah, tá aqui, tá aqui. Show! Aqui, ó, vou terminar os easter eggs.
Done.
Ah, amostra de sangue parto grosso. Uma pequena dose do sangue parto grosso que pode ser usado para Tem essa outra aqui de baixo, eu não sei o que que faz. Ah, antídoto. É, tem um itemzinho que eu acabei de ver ali. O que é aquilo? Isso aqui. Pequeno saco de tralhas, ah tá. Como é que tá a situação do hospital? Tá maravilhosa. Maravilhosa. Então vamos aproveitar e upar, né? Tem 4.370 pontos. Não, não dá. Eu tinha falado que ia botar em algum... investir em algum, eu não lembro qual era agora. Não era esse. Não, também não era esse. Mas eu não tô lembrado o que eu ia comprar. Será que era isso? Não, mas é uma boa aumentar ainda assim. $2.800. Será que era aqui? Essa névoa tá precisando, né? Vou comprar sim pra essa névoa. Tem como diminuir o cooldown dela depois? Não, só o dano mesmo que tem que aumentar. Aê, nível 22. Ah, tá. Tem que falar com ele.
What news, Jonathan? I've heard you've now joined the vampire elite of London.
Did Elizabeth tell you?
So it's Elizabeth now. My. Things are moving quickly. I turn my back for a moment and away you go.
Ai.
Have you seen Lady Ashbury recently?
Yes, she popped in yesterday. Told me about your new friends in the West End.
Just a courtesy visit, then?
Yes. And no. She was en route to the docks, I think. Following a lead concerning your maker.
I may have found the source of the contagion. Doris Fletcher, the actress. Thankfully, in the end, she was destroyed by fire.
Really? Oh, please, do tell me more.
Doris was a heavily mutated skull. Almost a new breed entirely. It's as if the disease had completely altered her mind and body. Highly contagious.
As if the disease had taken control of her will?
Yes. Once a beautiful and brilliant woman, she became motivated by hate alone.
Oh, she was a beauty. I met her when she visited the hospital to cheer up the sick. Too bad the fire destroyed her. But it was probably for the best.
Have you heard of similar cases?
No, I don't think so. Except, perhaps, it reminds me of an old report from the Brotherhood. Well, more an article, really.
What was it about?
The author, a friar, referred to a rare form of contagion in a skull he observed during the Black Death. The carrier was always female. Called them ichors.
Ichor.
How's the situation at the Pembroke?
We're still holding out. Question is, for how long? What we really need is hope, Jonathan. Hope for a better tomorrow.
I'll come back later. Thank you, Edgar.
Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Yes?
Não tem mais nada.
I'll
Não.
come.
Always a pleasure.
Papel aqui. Tinha como subir aqui de algum jeito? Eu acho que não, né? Não, não tem nem como interagir na porta. Alguma novidade por aqui? Deixa eu ver aqui. Ah, sim. Tem que entregar a carta.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick.
I'm okay.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now, please, let me be.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
A dor é uma ferramenta valiosa. Desespero é um veneno mortal.